Welcome to the Bachelor Breakdown, where we break down the game of life.
Especially the games that men play.
I'm your girl, Erica.
I'm Ashley. Let's break it down.
Hi guys, we're back for another episode of the Bachelor Breakdown.
Whoop.
How are you, Erica?
I'm good. I'm so excited to be here. We haven't recorded in so long, so it's nice. It's good to be back.
Great to be back in the studio. I mean, we spent the summer together, but we missed you guys.
Yes. We have, yes.
And I will have to say, I want to take a moment, just a pause.
Okay.
To
all right.
Thank all of our listeners. Because
yes.
you guys, we honestly, we love doing this because it's very cathartic for us and it's a creative outlet. Like, we're both business women, so our days are very structured. So when we get to chat, it's like a sigh of relief. It's like, oh, thank God.
And to have no filters, we
get to just chit chat, shoot the shit, it's so great. But I just want to say thank you to everyone that's tuning in and listening.
Yes.
Even if you're not here with great intentions, even if you're not here to really engage and bring your good energy and love and light to this space, if you're just here to be nosy, we still thank you.
I love someone being nosy. I appreciate it all.
We are grateful for it all because
all is welcome.
I say that because I have heard that there have been some people here not, just being nosy, but that's okay.
It's okay.
Welcome.
Come as you are. This is your church. Come as you are. Everyone is welcome.
Everyone is welcome. And keep coming back. Keep tuning in because it's just going to get better.
It's going to get better. It is going to get better.
And I think people forget. So I have a very petty side. Mm-hmm. It gets real petty. Girl, it gets petty Betty sometimes. Petty LaBelle. Petty. I have a very petty side, and I feel like people that grew up with me, know me, they know me, right? So I'm but after time and being in a relationship with people and friendships with people, I guess people forget, or they think because they know you so well, and you know me, I'm a very kind person. I
extremely
feel like I am evolved, so I'm not gonna do anything low vibrational.
No.
But words have always been my thing. And
mine too. I can shock myself.
You know what I'm saying? You can get this mouth gets a little harsh.
It takes me forever to get there. But once I get there, I'm even shocked. Yeah. I even have to take a step. It's out of body.
Yeah.
But it takes me a long time to get there. And if I get there, you deserve it.
I agree. But it's people forget who you are. It's people forget who they're engaging with.
They take the kindness. They take that for weakness. And it's kindness is not weakness.
No.
But
regulation.
Sometimes you have to remind.
They forget that. I feel like we're both regulated, right? And what I mean when I say that is that my emotions don't run me. I run them. So I can regulate myself. I'm not easily triggered. So I know exactly what I'm doing when I do it. And I think people who aren't very regulated think they would never do that to me. They wouldn't try me. Listen, when I come, I ain't trying. You know what I'm saying?
You're coming.
I'm coming. I'm gonna walk through the door. Okay.
It's so true.
But it's people forget.
But you know what, Ashley, I've noticed is that, probably 5 years ago, like you said, when I'm coming, I am coming. Everyone will know. Squirrels, rabbits, birds, everyone, every living organism will know I am coming. But the thing is now, as I'm getting older, it's not that I don't care. But at the same time, I just don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nothing is going to bring up my cortisol.
Listen, because
after you hit the
30s, you
Right?
understand how important it is
Yes.
to regulate that cortisol level, honey.
You really do, especially as a female. So for me, it's almost like I've just learned to just let it go. As the song is "Let It Go, Let It Go." I just don't care. I don't care anymore. Do you know what I
No.
mean? And I'm just focused on that small group. Like they say, as you get older,
Yeah.
your group keeps getting smaller. Oh my gosh, it's shocking. But I just care about that core group. And that's all I can focus on outside of everything else I have to do.
Yeah.
So you just learn to let it go.
You learn to let stuff go. But I feel like, too, as people are falling out of your life, because we are,
Yes.
I feel like in your 30s, especially for women, you wake up and you realize, like, this doesn't serve me. I have to do something different. So you start taking accountability for your actions, and
Yeah.
you start changing the people in your life, and
Or they just kind of
just
fall
fall
out.
out, and you
Yeah.
and you become very okay with that.
Yes.
And I do think that there's a point where you get back into the core of who you are. Like you
You do.
remember who you are. And I feel
Mhm.
like that is because you are remembering, like, I never
Mhm.
went for this shit. Why am I going for this shit
No.
now? Like, whether it's
100%.
in relationships or friendships, and even with some family
Yes.
members, like, you remember who you are and you're like,
I'm not dealing with
this.
like
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just not. Like I don't have the energy for it.
At all, which brings us to our topic of today's show.
Yes.
How you get them how you get them is how you lose them.
Oh, this is good.
And
You hear this all the time.
You hear it all the time, like, but you usually hear it being applied to relationships.
Yes.
Because when it's used for, relationships, it basically means if a man cheats on his girlfriend with you, he's most likely to cheat on you with the new girl. So,
Yeah.
my grandmother has always said, how you get them is how you lose them.
I've always heard that.
But what I am realizing in my adulthood is that implies it's not just a negative thing. Like, that applies to everything.
Oh, it does. In life.
Yeah. And I feel like even in my previous relationship, like, what the person loved about me initially is what they eventually hated about me in the end. And it's what ultimately caused our relationship to dissolve.
Yeah. It's crazy how that happens.
Yeah. So you think about this, and I think it is like a word. It is a wise word. Like, it is a wise saying. But I think more people need to understand that when you enter into relationships, what somebody eventually loves, like what they love about you, like how you get them to engage and connect and to commit or be in relationship with you, whatever that is, there's a chance that will be what causes the demise of your relationship.
It's true.
Even
Why do you think that is though? Why do you think that original attraction ultimately can be what severs the ties?
I think we have these like really false narratives of what relationship is. Like, opposites attract. Like, opposites attract, that saying.
Opposites do attract. I tend to like the opposite.
But a lot of people think that means,
but not in drastic
polar
way.
opposites, right?
No.
Like,
I like people with different interests. It keeps me interested.
Exactly. But when most people think of it, you think of like, oh, polar opposites attract, and the magnetism of an attraction. When really, relationships should be built on connection. How can you connect, and how deeply can you connect? But for example, what my ex loved about me was that I was ambitious, I'm highly intelligent, I independent, just all of these qualities. Like, I spoke my mind, driven, personable, social, I can walk into a room and talk to a stranger for 30 minutes. Like, all of these things about me is what eventually he hated about me. And I think it is attractive for someone who doesn't necessarily feel like they have those skills, right? If someone doesn't have, say, what you have, and it is a magnet, right? It's like a
Mhm.
moth to a flame. And they
Mhm.
come and they love everything about you.
Mhm.
But because you are ambitious and you are independent and you have a strong sense of self and all of these things, like once you're in a
It's a
relationship,
trigger for
it's a
them.
trigger. Once you're in a relationship with somebody, it becomes a trigger, especially if they feel they don't have those things. So what
Mhm.
they initially love about you is what they end up hating about you, because you trigger them in a way that nobody else does.
Nobody else can.
And
And you probably bring up insecurities within them.
so many insecurities.
Um,
Yeah.
and with
I have friends like
Mhm.
I have a friend who knows who she is. Like,
Mhm.
loves to have fun, loved, like, before she got married, loved to date and, date
Mhm.
multiple people and just have a
Uh-huh.
good time, and
Yeah.
loves her body and loves to be, sunbathe and be nude, like
Mhm.
all of it.
Mhm.
And that's what her husband like loved about her and fell in love with her for. And as
Mhm.
soon as they got married, he was like, I don't want you doing this. I don't want you doing that. I don't want you going
Oh,
out.
wow.
And she's like, you know who you married. Like, I feel like
Exactly.
men, a lot, especially for men, I feel like they are attracted to women who
Mhm.
are free and kind of live life on
Mhm.
their own terms, and then try to tame them and
Ah.
take ownership over them. It's almost
Mhm.
like they want to collect an item or
Mhm.
an object
Yeah.
versus
Mhm.
viewing women as people and
Yeah, individuals.
multi-dimensional and having their own personalities and dreams and life, like. And so when
Mhm.
they can't tame you, they end up
Mhm.
hating hating you. 'Cause I
Yeah.
know my ex hates me, like, there's no doubt
Oh.
about it.
Oh, I mean, it's so sad though, right? It's just, and that's the thing about relationships. It's just crazy to think you can be so connected and so in love with someone. Um, and then things can just, I'm going off topic, but it's really sad to see uh,
I
when
don't think it's
couples kind of
sad.
go,
Listen,
you're like, you just move on
you
from
just
it.
move on. Like, but it's back to your it's back to your
Uh-huh.
point. Like, you gotta ask. You stop caring. Like, once you realize that
You really can't.
a person is trying to change who you are at your core. And I think that's where it comes
Hmm.
back to women getting older and more mature and realizing all the false
Hmm.
narratives that
Of course.
they've
And
been brainwashed to believe.
I think actually, for me, the reason it's not that I don't care. It's just that I've gone through it enough and I sit back now because I've made it a point not to date. Like I haven't dated for a couple of years now by choice.
Hmm.
And when I sit back and I really go through past relationships, I look and it makes me really sad to think what I stayed for, what I put up with, what I subjected myself to.
Hmm.
It really makes me sad because I've chosen to look at myself as if I had a child and my child was myself. What would I
Hmm.
tell my kid? You know
Hmm.
what I mean? So it makes it because sometimes I think we're our harshest critics.
Yeah.
And I know I am my harshest critic.
Hmm.
Um, and I love that I'm so strong, but I've learned to talk to myself differently and softer. And knowing what I went through, it just makes me feel really sad. And now, as I move forward, when I do meet someone that I'm like, you know what, you are worth stepping out and really engaging and investing in, when I find that person, for me, if things aren't going right, it's not an argument, it's not a fight,
Hmm.
it's not putting all this energy. It's just, hey, like, it's not working. Like, you're cool. I'm so happy I got to meet you, all this stuff, but I'm not going to do that drama. I'm not going to do that exhausting, like, ring around or letting someone take me down from something that I've spent so much time building myself back up.
Exactly. And
It's just,
what
I don't have the energy.
I don't want you, because I have moments where I feel the same way. And I've had to
Yeah.
shift my mindset to, I don't feel sorry. Like, don't feel sorry and don't be sad. Like,
I'm just like, darn, like,
because you realize what you tolerated and how, all the ways you tried to like change,
all the ways you try,
be, you know, what someone else needed, and you realize, like, the realization of
you can never make that person happy.
Never make that person happy. And here I tried to change who I was for them. I actually saw something really good yesterday, and it was a psychologist said that in dating, and so many women, you know, need to understand this. You need to be. She's only witnessed 2 type of relationships last. One where the man and the woman were both like head over heels, equally in love with each other. Those relationships last. And others where
those are the best.
Where the man is head over heels in love with the woman, and the woman loves the man, but she's not really head over heels.
I've always heard that. Have you ever? I hate to cut you off. Every time you sit down with an older female who's lived, and you ask them, what is the key to the best relationship? They have always told me the man must love you and like you more than you like them. And I was always like, well, no, I want to be crazy about the person I'm with too.
But here's why. Because I thought the why, I'm always trying to figure out the why. I thought the why was better than the 2 categories. She said the why, the reason is because women will work to make a relationship last and work regardless of how much they love somebody. Men will only do it if they're head over heels in love. And that's huge. So like, as we were saying, like, we will change ourselves, we'll do whatever. We will do the work that it takes to sustain a relationship, where men will only do it if they're head over heels in love with you.
Which then makes you wonder if that's why people cheat. I'm assuming it's not just the reason why men cheat. It's probably the reason why men and women cheat is if you're not 100% crazy about the person or sold out the person or even worried about losing that person, which means you're not 100%.
Right.
You know, that must be why people cheat.
I had to listen.
You know what I mean?
I have tried to understand why people cheat. And I'm just going to say this about cheating, because I feel like cheating, we could do a whole nother episode.
Yeah.
But here's my simple response to cheating. We are all grown. It's not like we're 16 living in our mother's house. We have to lie about what we're doing. Once you reach an age of adulthood where you work,
just have a conversation,
and you pay your bills, and you are out here living your life, I have no idea why people lie about who they are. It is insane to me.
It's gonna come out eventually. So just
not only that, I mean, it's like, what you grew up to what? Lie? You grew up to be a liar. Like, what is the
It's true.
Be yourself. Like, but that links back to being insecure and not really knowing who you are, not understanding yourself or what you want. It's like, my God, stop lying. Live in your truth.
Yeah.
Like,
it's true.
Be
Plus, that's
who
too
you
much
want,
stress.
Be what you want. Be with whomever you want. Like, stop fucking lying. There is no point. Everybody's grown.
It's true.
But back to like how you get them is how you lose them. Like, that really goes for everything. That goes for your friends. I even think it even goes for friendships.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I feel like the friends that I have like fallen out with and we're no longer friends anymore is like, we fell out because I am who I am. And they didn't really care about that. Like, they knew who I was. Yes, I shifted a little bit to like save feelings and not be a bitch. But ultimately, like, we aren't friends anymore because I am who I am. And
was there something that happened? Like, did an event happen that caused it?
No.
Or did it just kind of fall?
No, it's just like several friendships. Like, I feel like how we got into the friendships, like, because I am who I am. And they initially loved that about me, is the same reason we're not friends. Because I'm going to speak my mind. I'm going to say what I got to say. I'm going to always be respectful, but I'm also not a liar. And I feel like a lot of people build relationships on superficial,
convenient
lies. Like, and I'm not gonna do that. So
I can't lie to you.
I do believe how you get them is how you lose them, and that's not necessarily always cheating. That could be anything.
Yeah, anything in life.
But I do.
But
what? Go ahead.
For me though, that's why a big, like you said, it applies in everything: relationships, business relationships, friendships, family, whatever. But
Yeah.
you and I, we always talk about karma. For me, it's like what's Taylor Swift's new song, karma. It's it's true. Like karma is a thing. And I was just sitting here thinking, because I was like, have I ever cheated? And I was like, no, I actually have never. I've never cheated.
I never cheated. Maybe I should have.
Never.
No.
I should have a couple times, or not cheated. I should have just been like, you know what, I'm going to date at the same time. But I've always been so like a horse with blinders on in relationships. I just can only focus on
said that to
one person.
Yeah, so I have a friend
that's just
that I went to college with. That met for drinks, and I was like, he was like, in college, like, you weren't checking for nobody. And I was like, I wasn't checking for anyone because I was in a relationship. I was like, I had blinders on. Like, I was like, I had no recognition.
And it didn't matter if I was dating Boo Boo the Clown, Ashley. I was still blinders on. Blinders. Which makes me so mad. I was in my prime.
Because here's the thing. If I knew then what I know now, baby.
Yes, it wouldn't have happened.
And like you said, I'm not a cheater. It's not who I am in my core.
So but I would have had those conversations openly to say, hey, let's date. Yeah. Let's continue to have fun and get to know each other. But I don't think I would have jumped into being so exclusive so soon and having blinders, because I found out I was the only one that was exclusive in those relationships.
Here's what my proposal would have been. Because
what is your proposal?
My ex was out here in the streets, and I had a man recently tell me that he was like, "Oh, he was out here in the streets," and I was like,
"Oh my god,
thank you, Jesus."
Now you can just be like whatever. But can you imagine if you knew that then?
Girl. Oh god. But I'm like, thank you, Jesus, for covering me and protecting me.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Amen.
But my proposal would have been, because he traveled a lot for work. My proposal would have been, when you leave, you can do whatever you want to do, as long as I can do whatever I want to do with whomever I want to do it with. Now I say this talking a lot of shit, right?
You wouldn't have done anything.
I say that.
Sounds good, but you wouldn't have done anything.
I'm not the type that's really open to an open relationship. You know what I'm saying?
I just can't.
Share. I'm a Capricorn.
We don't share well.
We don't want to share our things.
I share well in other aspects, but the personal relationship thing, I do not share.
I don't share well at all. I don't want you in my stuff. I don't want you wearing my stuff. My daughter always wants to put on my jewelry, and she can kind of like fit my little tops, and she's get out of my stuff.
No.
I'm a Capricorn, baby. I don't like to share. So I would not have shared a man.
No.
There are too many out here. But I saw this. There was another thing I saw on Instagram recently. There was a woman who I guess had found out her man was cheating. And someone recorded her having a conversation with him. And she was saying like, oh no, we're going to be a family. We're going to stay together. We're going to raise our kids together. We're going to keep getting money together. We're going to build a beautiful life together. But we will not be sleeping together anymore. You can sleep who you want to sleep with, and I'll sleep with who I want to sleep with, because you are not the only one that people want to sleep with. And I felt that deeply. I understood her perspective. Like,
but to me though, but see, the only thing I don't agree with that is, I get what she's saying, but I'm like, I'm a really big believer in what you hold space for. And that's why I'm single, is I don't believe in just dating to date. Yeah. Meaning I don't just want someone I'm not crazy about holding space, because when the right guy comes, if Boo Boo the Clown is holding space and he's just funny, but I'm not really interested in him, guess what? Boo Boo's going to make me miss out on Mr. Right.
Right.
Because Mr. Right is not going to want someone, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want to hold space for something that is not mine.
Right.
And I feel like if someone is not committed to me, you're not mine.
Right.
And I'm not going to lose sleep over it. I wish you well, be gone. So I just feel like for her, let him go. You know what I mean? If you guys want to be business partners, be business partners, but don't have him in your home, in your space, taking up your time, because he's still going to take up your time.
Yeah.
He's still going to take up your energy. Let that go.
But I think we can say that you and I can say that because we both.
Well, I don't have kids, so maybe that's part
well,
of it
no,
too,
but we both are financially okay. You know what I'm saying? And it's different for women who aren't. I do find that. But also, I feel like people are reimagining and kind of creating their own definitions of what relationship is, what works for them. And maybe she said it just to prove a point. You never know. Yeah. But listen, girlfriend said, you ain't the only one around here that people want to sleep with.
Oh, she told him. I would love to have seen his reaction.
I was waiting for the reaction video.
The funny thing to me, it's so funny to me that guys think, it's just so funny. And it goes back to the being single thing where it's like, people will be like, oh, you're single, but you're so beautiful. You're so, I'm like.
People think that's a fucking compliment. It's not.
I'm like, I'm not worried about being single. Like,
I hate when someone says, you're too pretty to be single. Listen, being single ain't got nothing to do with this. It doesn't have anything to do with the way I look. Yes.
No, or the way I think.
No.
It just has to do with some people have gone through different things.
Yes.
And you either, and we're in different places in our lives and we choose to do things differently. But it's so funny when people say that. And I think people say that because they feel like, women, we don't have these choices. And she's like, dude, the choices you have on the streets, I have those same choices. Don't get it twisted.
Right.
It's not like we're up here waiting for a man to knock on our door or ask us out. It's very, very easy these days if you want to be in a relationship or fool around or whatever.
I always say men are the easiest thing to acquire. Easiest thing to acquire. And that's no shade, but pretty easy to acquire.
Yes, but we'll clarify that because I can hear the comments now already. I can hear the comments on Facebook. A good man
is hard.
Is hard to acquire.
Yes, mm-hmm.
And a good woman is hard to acquire.
Mm-hmm.
But
yes, because it goes both.
Either man
ways.
or woman is easier to acquire for people, right?
Yeah.
So we'll clarify that. Don't come for us.
Yeah, because folks are so sensitive. But I always say
they are sensitive. I'm like, don't take it literal.
So. You get hit with me,
right?
Hit something. It resonated something.
Hit a nerve. Maybe you should research it.
But we've reached our in-game adjustment segment of our show. So if you happen to be dating, right? So we're both dating, and let me clarify: we're not dating anyone. But
no, I'm not dating anyone.
We meet.
I was like,
no,
not yet.
So I feel like my definition of dating is different from a lot of people's.
You might be going out and having lunch,
right?
Or whatever,
we're meeting.
Right?
People. Let's say we're meeting people. We're not shut down.
I mean, I'm not yet, but I am open
to
people. People try to talk. I'm just not interested. I'm not recessive. But soon, there's a few that I'm like,
I will have some people calling you.
Yeah.
So we are both like meeting people.
Yes.
And, when you're talking to someone and, trying to figure out if you like them enough to date them, like
Which is so fun.
It's fun. And it's like,
it's so fun.
There are some things you can look for. It's like,
yes,
people will tell you without telling you what they like about you or find attractive about you. Mm-hmm. And if you're dating, it's important to be mindful of what they are saying. It's like, as women, often we want to be heard and we want to just spill everything. But the most important thing for women who are meeting people with the intention of dating them, listen to what they're telling you. Because
oh my gosh,
what they're telling you is important, and it will be what they end up hating about you in the future.
Ashley, say it for the people in the back. Just say it for the people in the back. Because this is the thing. You just said it right. And this is what I tell people all the time. Okay, so recently I was, where was I? Oh, I was in San Diego. And I was at dinner. And this couple was having their first date behind me. And this chick, she was so cute, right? He was cute too. They were a super cute couple. They would have been adorable together. But she talked non-stop. The guy couldn't get 2 words in. I mean, she was all over the place. All over the place. And I was like, see, I always say this. Don't talk so much. Let the other person talk, because they will tell you literally everything. You just have to learn to listen.
Yeah.
And by listening, you know what to ask. And I'm telling you, it'll save you a lot of time.
Lots of time.
Because what do people love to do? Talk about themselves.
Baby, they're going to talk about themselves.
You might know 2 things about me at the end of the day. And I know your whole history.
I know everything.
Because I'm fine listening.
Yes.
And I ask the right questions.
Yes. I have met so many men over the past couple of years, and just like you said, like once I listen and really figure it out, I'm like, not interested, not fucking interested, because I've, you learn your lesson, and you like do. Once you get to a point in your life where you realize, like, I don't have to tolerate anything or accept anything or settle for anything. Like, no. You can keep moving one step closer to the person that, will show up and meet you where you want to be. 100%. So 100%. Yes, our first tip is to listen.
Open the ears.
Second, if you're in a relationship with someone and you are noticing that you are becoming a trigger for them, for example, when you give them advice, or when they ask your opinion and you share your opinion, and then they turn on you and say, you don't know everything. Like, whatever it is that they are shutting you down on, trying to diminish you for, just kind of like nitpicking at you, that is something that triggers them. And what we want you to know, that's their stuff. Do not take it personally. It's not your issue.
And don't take it. Stop letting people unload their things, their stuff. This is personal relationships. This is friendship. This is business. Stop letting people unload their stuff on you.
Yeah.
Hand it back.
Give it back to them. And don't change who you are to be what they need. Like, that is a for sure sign.
It never works.
That is, whatever it is it's an unhealthy exchange, like unhealthy situation. If you feel like you have to change who you are to be what they need for them to love you more or be happier or want to be around you more, like that is a red flag. So please don't do that. If you can, go to therapy, work on it with that person, have a conversation, talk about it, work on your communication. That could potentially help you. But if not, you have to understand there's nothing wrong with you. If they love that about you in the beginning and now they hate it about you, it's not you.
And I think the key is also just know when to walk away. Yeah. No one wants a relationship where we constantly have to sit down and have conversations. I really don't like how you operate like this. I really don't like your tone of voice. I really don't like how, after a while, no one wants, because even though you might be 100% valid, you're the one that's going to start to look like a nagger. So if your partner is not wanting to come together and work on things equally, honey, you're just playing a game by yourself. Walk away. Know when to walk away. There are how many people in this world? Listen, you're going to tell me you're going to be alone forever?
No.
You're not going to be alone. You'll be alone if you choose to be alone, and that's fine. Some people don't want a relationship. Yeah. But you will not be alone because there's something wrong with you.
No.
Just know it's okay to walk away.
This reminds me of that whole Keke Palmer issue with her boyfriend. And I know people are tired of hearing about the Keke Palmer issue.
They talked about that today at the salon. I was like, oh, yes.
But it's so true. Like, Keke Palmer is beautiful. She's outgoing.
Talented, hilarious.
Ambitious. Like, has her hand in so many things, like independent, and she's always been like body positive and, you know, like free to be herself. And then she got with this guy, had a baby, went to the Usher concert in Vegas, which we need to go to because I hear it's amazing.
Oh, yes. I'd love any reason to go to Vegas.
Down. So, but went to the concert and then wore this, you know, see-through dress and had her bottom out. First of all, she looks fucking amazing. She can wear anything that she wants.
She just had a baby.
It doesn't like, she can show what she wants to show. And he like publicly shamed her for what she wore to the concert. And it's like, no, this is the prime example. What he loved about her in the beginning is what he ends up, you know, hating about her in the
end. But who is he? Ashley, who is he? I'm not even trying to be shady, but who is he? Like, what? You are lucky that she procreated with you. Listen. Okay? Because you just had a good day and you were able to slip in there. Listen. But at the end of the day, you do not have her stats. You do not have who she is and what she's worked for in her image. So I don't understand how these people, I don't care if you're female or male, can come into someone's life who has done well and want to put them down. You should be happy she lets you in her space.
But it's exactly what we're talking about. What they love about you in the beginning is what they hate about you in the end, and how you get them is how you lose them. But the point, it's time to pull it all in. How you get them is how you lose them. But the most important thing is to do not lose yourself. Don't let them change 100%. You to be what they need. If they don't like it,
because if you do that, you'll always lose the game.
Right. If they don't like it, okay. Somebody else will.
Yep.
So thank y'all for joining us for another episode. This was good, Erica.
This was fun. We weren't very organized. This episode we're chilling today. It's Friday.
I feel like it was great. Like, but it was us.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
But
I love it. And I love you guys.
We love you. So thank you for joining us. We'll see you next month on a new episode. Until next time, do you, be you. We love you.
Love you.
Bye.